Hello, and thank you for joining Paper Crafting with Tracey. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bookmark card here. And once you kind of hold on to it and slide it out, oops. And that's the inside, using this Simply Zinnia stamp set. And there's coordinating dies, which I'm not using the dies today. Okay. And this is on part of the online exclusives. Now for this particular card, I did use a different designer series paper. That was from the new annual catalog, and that was the softly stippled designer series paper. Just to show you some other paper that's available in different designs, and of course double-sided. But for the example I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the designer series paper that comes with the Simply Zinnia suite. And you can see all these very bold colors that are in here, like so. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a piece of cardstock. And this one, it's starting off a little bit different for our base. This is a 5.5 by 8, or 5.5 by 11 piece of paper of cardstock. And on the 11-inch side, we're scoring it at the, if I hold it this way around for you, the 4 1/4 and the 8.5-inch mark. So that when it folds like a regular card there, then this one will fold back. But before we glue all this down, we need to cut an angle off. So you're just going to get your trimmer. And it's really easy to do, and you can make the angle however you want. So just line up the point up there, and then at some point along there, it just depends on how much of the paper you want showing. Okay. So we'll do like so. Just chop it off, and there we have. Okay, so I will get my piece of designer paper, because you want to anchor that on here first before you glue this down. So I've just taken, if I can find where I put that piece of designer paper. I had them all sitting here ready to go, and now I've misplaced it. Oh, there it is. It was upside down. Okay, so I'm going to use this piece here. I could use that, but I want to showcase the zinnias. And so you're just going to take this, put the whole piece down, even though part of it is going to get covered. That's okay. So we'll put that in here. Oops. And I will have all the measurements laid out again for you in the blog that you should see down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Okay, just like so. And now we're going to fold this back and glue that down. Now when we glue, we want to make sure we're just going on the edges, because we want to be able to get our bookmark in there. So remember, with this multi-purpose Tombow glue, a little bit goes a long way. So be careful how much you squeeze, and I just tend to run the tip along like so. And then we'll fold that over, and that's ready to go. We'll just put a bit of pressure on there to start. There. So the front of the card is almost done. For the inside of the card, I'm just going to stamp, okay, using this stamp set. And then I'm also going to do one on a piece of white cardstock, like so. Now I've already done this piece just so that you weren't having to watch me color the whole time. So I've already done that one. So I'm going to do similar to this one. So I'm just using basic gray. And again, with a large stamp like this that doesn't quite fit your ink pad, it's easier to actually apply the ink to the stamp rather than putting the stamp to the ink pad. Then you can just get some better even coverage. And all I did for this is I just wanted some of it showing on the edge, just so that the inside of the card wasn't too plain. Okay, just like so. And now I'm going to take my blends and I will color that. So the blends I'm using are Flirty Flamingo, both dark and light. And I'm using the dark and light Old Olive and also the light Daffodil. And actually there's not really much in the way of light Daffodil for this particular one. It was more for the third one, for the center. Okay, but I can put a tiny bit in the center there. And that's about it for that one. So I will start off with a little bit of dark. Okay, and all I'm going to do is just accent some of these. Remember, these are blends, so when you use the dark and the light, it will blend together. And now for these stems, I tend to use the narrow one, just so that I don't go over too much. Just like so. Okay, and now I'll do this one too, just but where it's smaller. And then I can use the wider end to fill these in a little bit faster. You can see when you go over where the dark was, it blends in quite nicely. Okay, and now again I'll start with the dark. And all I'm doing is there's these little, almost like stars in the center. And that's where I'm putting just a little bit darker there. You can see it in the designer series paper, kind of the star shaped. And they did them yellow on here, but I'm doing the darker Flirty Flamingo. And then I'll just quickly color these flowers here. So I find if I go along the edge first, it just helps me stay within the lines. Okay, and then I can just shade in here. And then we'll do the same with this one. And this is the longest part of this card. It's just the coloring. So if you enjoy to color, find it relaxing, then you should enjoy this card. You can use your Stamp Rite markers or watercolor pencils, those kinds of things. Okay, there we go. Oh, I can see where I missed a tiny bit of my leaf there. Right. There we go. Okay, so now I will attach this to the inside of my card, like so. And I didn't put a matting on this one. You could if you wanted. I was just going to use the card base as my matting. Okay, so just remember your matting will be a little bit wider. Okay, so now we're going to finish with our bookmark. So I'm using the card base as the base of the bookmark, like so. And we'll just attach this. And then all I did was take a single hole punch and punched out up at the top here for my ribbon. There we go. A little bit off center, but that's okay. And then in the catalog, there is this sheer ribbon, like so. But I didn't want the white. I didn't feel like it went with the card. So what I've done is I've taken some of the Flirty Flamingo, and I'll just get the dark Flirty Flamingo, and I just colored it, like so. And when you pull it away, you can see it's not so dark. The dark was on the paper. So let's get my scissors there, and I'll snip off some of that. Stick that through. So when you have a white ribbon like that, you can adjust it to be whatever color you want by coloring it with your blends. There we go, and we'll just trim those up. And there's the bookmark that'll slide in. Oops, this one, it looks like I was a little tight on the glue. So if you do that, you can just trim the edge of this just slightly. Okay, actually there it goes. Oops, it's because I was putting it in crooked. That'd be why. Okay, now we'll do our sentiment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a piece of white cardstock, and I'm using the hexagon punch here, and we'll just punch that out. I'm going to use basic gray for my sentiment, and I'm just using the thank you so much that's in the stamp set. And then all I'm going to do, because I wanted to not have just the plain edge against there, I didn't think it looked quite right, is I'm just going to take a sponge dauber, and I'll use the Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to outline it, just like so, just to give it a little bit of dimension. There. Now before I attach that, and I use dimensionals to attach it, I'm going to take a piece of lemon line twist, and I'm going to attach it to the back. So all I did for that, just put a piece of tape on the back and just center this on there, just to give it a little bit of pop, like so. And now I will get some dimensionals to put that on there. And then we're just about finished here. Okay, so we'll line that up here in our center of our card. And then I'm just going to take some bling here. I can't remember what the name of the bling is. It'll be in my blog. And we'll attach these. Oops. There we go. A thank you bookmark card using the Simply Zinnia stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Paper Crafting with Tracey. Please subscribe to the channel, and happy stamping.